Hello, I'm back. It's me, Liz Scarf, process work diplomate in Melbourne, Australia, talking about process work and the Melbourne Processwork Intensive, which is coming up soon. Now, in this video, I wanted to talk about quantum entanglement. And heaven help me with this, it's a complicated thing to talk about. Quantum physics is complex, and it kind of has this saying that if you think you understand it, you've really missed the point. The idea that it's difficult to understand and get your head around, and therefore very difficult to communicate to. But I'm going to have a crack because it's a very important concept in the foundations of process work. Quantum physics more broadly, and one part of that is this idea of quantum entanglement. So I'm going to do my best, and if you're a physicist out there, please forgive me, I did not major in physics in my science degree. So quantum entanglement, as I said, is a foundational concept in process work, but actually also in the esoteric teachings of all the major religions, although they have different names for it. They don't call it quantum entanglement. And I have got notes that I'm referring to, sorry. So Einstein was one of the originators of this theory, and he first called it spooky action at a distance, which is a fantastic way to describe it. It's the idea that at the level of subatomic reality, everything is connected. There's no this or that, there's no events, there's just, this is where it gets difficult to it. There is just like a unified field or unified state where there is no events, there's no time, there's no locality, there is just the potential for things to manifest. So when we talk about quantum entanglement, it's the idea that entangled particles can influence each other, their behaviour, at a distance with no contact and no obvious means of communication, or none that we can measure or ascertain, and basically instantaneously. So it was theorised for a long time and helped explain a lot of things in physics, but it wasn't actually kind of proven particularly well until just a couple of years ago, 2014, in Canada, at a university there, with the help of Alice, Bob, Charlie and Randy. Okay, it's American. Anyway, and they demonstrated what they call three-particle entanglement and non-locality. So non-locality is just about not being in the same place. So like if you have, just say you're playing pool, right, or snooker, whatever you call it, billiards, one ball doesn't influence another unless they actually come into contact, supposedly. But at the subatomic level, what we're talking about with quantum particles is that these snooker balls, they're not really, but these quantum particles can influence each other without touching, without being in the same room, without being able to see each other, somehow. We don't even know how they do it, but just proving that they can do it was a big thing. So basically they had like a university lab. This is where Alice was located, one of the quantum entangled particles, and then they shot off Bob and Charlie to these other two caravans, the other two parts of this three-particle entanglement. And then Randy was this randomizing factor that determined what things to measure. Now, when you measure a quantum particle, the opposite response, because they always have a response to being measured, will happen in the other entangled particle. And that's what they saw. They would measure Alice, and the other two, Bob and Charlie, without knowing what Alice was being measured on, would reciprocate. They acted as one. And this is what's really kind of, I don't know, kooky and cool about this notion of quantum entanglement, that a particular level of reality, there is no you and me, there's no computer screen you're watching this through, there's no phone that I'm recording this on, like everything is one. Weird. So, on that note of weird, Bert is the promo word for this video. But how does this apply, this notion of quantum entanglement, into process-oriented psychology? So we think about it in terms of the idea that our individual processes are not just our own, they're part of a wider field, in fact the whole universal field, in one sense. And the idea that a therapist or a facilitator is never neutral. This idea of neutrality in that role is kind of ridiculous. You're part of your client, you're part of your group's process. You're in an entangled relationship with them. So your experiences and your reactions, they're not just your own, they're partly your own. You won't have a reaction from something that doesn't have somewhere to land in you personally, but actually they're more about your client or your group's process. And so one of the big things in process work is learning how to notice that. We call it being dreamed up. And it's an extension and a deepening of notions of transference and countertransference from psychoanalysis. But that the ways in which you react and that you respond as you're working with a group or with a person belong to the process of that group or that person. So how do you use that helpfully for them? How do you bring that in? So sometimes I might, for example, might be sitting with a client who's describing something and they're kind of calm and nice about the situation, and I'm kind of going, this is really irritating. Oh my God. So I think this is not, if it's not me, let's just assume it's not me. Let's assume that I am part of this client's process, that my response belongs to their process. I might try and find it, I'll try and find a way to bring that in usefully for them. And a really basic way to do it would go, wow, you sound really calm about this situation, but I'm just wondering, did you ever feel irritated about it? Or did you, some people might find that really irritating, but you're so, do you find that irritating? I noticed I felt a little irritated. Those kind of things to help make it useful rather than just thinking, oh my God, I'm finding my client really irritating. It's not the situation. And same within groups as well. Facilitators, sometimes your own experiences and responses are your best tools for knowing what is going on and what to do next, and how to intervene and support the process to unfold even further, or how to kind of pause things and structure the safety in the group more, or a whole range of things. And another way we would think about or use quantum entanglement metaphorically is thinking about the idea that really there is no other. You'll see this in I know Thich Nhat Hanh speaks about this a lot, but if you think that you're separate from other people, this is a false idea. That at one level you're not, at one level we're not, we're the same. And this causes a lot of conflict internally and externally, where we think somebody else is not us. So when we think about everyone else as us, as expressing part of who we are, that we're somehow connected, it can change a lot of the ways in which you relate to yourself and to others, and certainly how you work therapeutically and in any other kind of helping professions. Another way we might also think about it is this idea that there is nothing random or just coincidental in the world, that things are meaningful and connected. I got a cool story about this, I'll tell you in a minute. So the other one too is that the work that we do on ourselves benefits our broader community. So, I sometimes have felt, I'm not going to go there, revealing my really cynical nature, but that the inner work you do on yourself, the therapeutic work you do on yourself, has a ripple effect out in the world. It's not just you who benefits from it. Okay, now here's the story. So from the time of making this video, about 4.5 years ago, my mother died, and I was doing all the packing up of her stuff and deciding what to keep and what to get rid of. And, there was stuff that I was definitely sure I wanted to keep, stuff I was definitely sure I wanted to get rid of, and then stuff I wasn't sure about yet. So I thought I will just keep it until I do know what I want to do. So about a year after she died, I started unpacking this box of stuff that was kind of in the unknown category, and in there I find her wallet. And goodness knows why I'd not gone through this before. I was surprised, but anyway, I look in the section where the paper money is, and there's $25 in there. And I'm like, cool, thanks Mum, you just keep on giving. And then in the coins section, there was $3.10. And I went, oh, I wonder if this is meaningful, $28.10. And then I went, oh my goodness, that's my mother's birthday, 28th of the 10th. So this is, I get so excited about things like this. And we've all usually got little stories like this where we just go, that was really weird, or that was really kooky. My life's full of them. Maybe because I look for it, because, I thought to even ask myself, I wonder if this number means anything. But anyway, so this is a little story where I think about quantum entanglement and the meaningfulness of life and our experiences. And yeah, this will be a big theme that goes through the process work intensive, because it's a central theme in process work. I'm also in the intensive going to look at some of the other parts of quantum physics that we that we use in process work, which is a very brave and bold thing to do, because if you hadn't noticed, talking about quantum physics is not that easy. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.